Hello everyone, my name is Tom Dale and I'm the Head of Customer Success here at Imgix. Today I'm going to be doing a demo on creating a quick eComm site using Imgix for the responsive images on a headless CMS. Alright, so I'm here on my GitHub repo and I'm going to be using Nuxt.js as my front end, and I'm going to be using Prismic as my CMS, and I'm going to be using Snipcart for the shopping cart. So if you haven't installed the Prismic client yet, you should start off doing that. After you've installed that, you're going to go ahead and put this Prismic theme in here. So what this is going to do is create a Prismic project in your Prismic account. If you don't have an account yet, it's going to make you sign into it right now. Since I already have, I can just create a name. It's also going to then install everything right now based on my config file in Nuxt. So let me just move this to the background while I pull up the Prismic account. So we should see a TD eComm 15 just created right here. Now, you just have to kind of choose your default language, and I've already made everything else. You just need to, as for the templates, you just need to actually put in the content. So I'm going to make a layout. The layout's going to have the name of the site at the top and an image at the top. Actually, let me add all the images first. That'll make it even quicker. It's on my desktop. Here we go. You can note that I'm bringing the largest version of these images, and I'm not cropping them or doing anything like that. I'm going to let it all happen by Imgix using a Vue SDK library. So now I'm going to go back here to the layout and add the name, add in an image. I'm going to use this row of coffee mugs. Save, publish. Scoot this over here to center it. I'm going to add 2 products so we'll have something to look at on the page. Give you an idea of how quick and easy this is. So for the product info, I'm going to go ahead and choose my shirt. I'm going to add some alt text. Give it a random price. And then I mentioned for the shopping cart, I'm using something called Snipcart. So all the data I put in here is just going to go into my Snipcart as well. It's going to be pretty easy to use Snipcart. You essentially just need to add the API key to Nuxt. And then beyond that, when someone presses the buy button, it's going to send this data that I've added in the Snipcart about the product and kind of fulfill, the orders. You don't actually need to preload in all the orders and products in Snipcart. Add this coffee maker, single serve coffee maker. One more time for the Snipcart data. Save, publish, and I mentioned that we need to get the Snipcart API key, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we go. So in the top right, you can go down to your API key. And just note that A, this is a test API, but B, this can be shared without security issues. It just allows a subset of API operations. So let's enter the directory that we just created and open your favorite code editor. And then in your layout folder in the default.view, you're going to add that API key. And that'll be it. So we can run the site, and I'll come back to this and we can look a little at what I've done in Nuxt as well. So let's open up our localhost. So one reason I'm using Nuxt is it's better for SEO than Vue, And I also enjoy how it makes a bunch of different pages based on the UID. It's like a dynamic page creator. So here we go. We have the two images we just did, the shirt and the coffee maker, right? If we look at this shirt, it has a source set with a bunch of different sizes, some different DPR settings, right? I'm also, it's actually originally a PNG. So if I show you maybe the original, let me get rid of all of this stuff. You can see it's 173 kilobytes, right? But then when I put everything back, we're 8.4 kilobytes. What I'm doing is I'm adding a color background behind it that's off-white to match my background on my website. And I'm also turning it into a WebP for Chrome, or turning it into, any other format you would like, depending on the other browsers. This is specifically going to be a JPEG, or this is a WebP and it'll be a JPEG in other browsers, right? It's just simply much more performant, and there's no need for me to actually show the 170 kilobyte PNG version, right? So obviously showing 7 kilobytes instead of 170 is a great thing to do. So if I click into the images, you'll see, we have another sized version here as well. Here's this buy button I was talking about. When I click on it, it does take me to the Snipcart shopping cart. And you can go through the whole process to purchase using, a test credit card. Let me delete this out too. Yep, works. So yeah, and right here's that original image I just added at the top, right? Let me go ahead and now go back to Nuxt and just show you some of the things I mentioned. So for Imgix in general, I am using a Vue SDK, and Prismic does natively use Imgix. So I'm actually just continuing to use their image domain, which is fine because that's what you get for using a Prismic account, right? And but I'm just using a Vue SDK to compound with that, which makes it a lot easier to generate responsive images. Now, if I go into my home page here, you can see that I have a product widget, which is essentially doing a gallery kind of view of all of my products, right? So let me go to this component of my product widget. And you can see the Prismic API here, right? They have a little field like this for the rich text fields. And then if you have a non-rich text field, let's see, we can go to this home page. Yeah, see there's no prices here, right? So if I want to also add the cost, I could do product.data.price. I didn't add zeros. There we go. So this one looks a little different, right? Because it's not a rich text field. But there you go. Here are the prices. Now, as for the images, I created a product gallery component. So I'm using ix-image. That's part of our library that has it generate the source sets. And I chose a certain size, and it just loads a bunch of different DPR settings in, and depending what DPR the browser is using, it'll choose that. It's also using these different parameters which do the items I mentioned to add the buffer around it. We're adding in the alt text here, and we're doing loading lazy because it's just a great practice to do, to lazy load your images. So I think the next step is I said we would deploy this to Netlify, right? So let me go ahead and do Nuxt. Nope. npm run generate. Nope. npm run generate. So this is gonna create a dist folder that we're gonna use in Netlify. And I'm gonna go to netlify.com/drop. It's a really fun place. You just go there for a brand new project and you're literally just gonna drop something in and you're done. So let's go ahead and find this folder I did everything in. Here we go. I did this in TD eComm 15. Here it is. And here's my dist folder. Drag it over. Hey, now we are live on Netlify, and you can go ahead and, CNAME this as something else, but everything still working great. Well, I hope that was a useful demo for you guys, and I'm really excited to see what you do with the actual GitHub repo and the Prismic theme I created. ImageX is an API, so it can work in a multitude of ways. Prismic is just a CMS that I knew well and works well with Nuxt, right? But there's tons of other CMSs that natively use Imgix as well. You got Cosmic.js, Data CMS, TakeShape, Twill, Living Docs. Even if it wasn't a native Imgix using CMS, maybe like Contentful, you could easily connect us to their images as well. There's plenty of blog posts out there about people doing that. That's the key thing, is Imgix is very flexible, can be made to connect to anywhere, and help you create responsive images quickly. So I hope that was good, and I look forward to hearing from you all about what you do with this. Bye-bye.